Good morning, good morning. It is a Monday. It's a Monday. Juliet Nansovga is my name, and this is straight up. Let's talk. We talk honesty. We talk truth. We talk about reality. Yeah, we speak truth. Yes, yes. Though it hurts sometimes, but it's the truth. You know, I've learned to embrace reality. I've learned to embrace truth. Because by the end of the day, when you know the truth, when you know what's really happening in the real world, I think you tend to know how to live your life much more better, you know, because when you know truth, you know mistakes, and then I think a person who accepts truth accepts correction, you know. Yeah, because most of the people want to be lied to because they don't want to hear bad news. But it's always good to really embrace truth, because if you embrace truth, you're actually living a life full of that is reality. How is COVID? How is the lockdown? You know, how is the lockdown taking you? Are you okay where you are? Is God faithful? On my side, He is faithful. Yes, He is faithful, because I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm not using any oxygen cans. So I'm really grateful that I have a chance to be alive and healthy. You know, so to me, that is really, really so amazing. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about hurry, Hurry, the hurry that is in our lives. You know, you wake up, you're in haste to go to papa, you're never settled. Like, it's not that you want to be settled, but that pressure that comes with a lot of things, you know, work and, you know, wanting to be, or not even wanting to be human, yet you're human. You're in a hurry to avoid mistakes, to avoid this and that. So hurry. I've got to realize that it's really not good for our lives. Most of the time, we just want to do things and be in haste. You know, you want to accomplish things. Most of the time, you want to be considered the hard worker or the good person or what, and all that comes with it. But by the end of the day, hurry is actually not good for our lives. If you could do things at your pace, no kakanya speed, it is so healthy. It is so peaceful. You get, when you're at work and you're performing, you know, you're doing what you have to do, you know, it helps actually to keep track of how you spend your time. But most of the time we are in haste. Every time you're rushing at office, you're rushing to do this, you're rushing to finish this. It's really, really not good, but it's just not good. It's not good, because I think I really want to wake up in the morning, organize myself enough, stretch enough, so that by the time I move out to go to work or to go do whatever I'm doing, to do that specific day, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm not sweating, but people reach work early in the morning and they're already sweating, and you're like, okay, were you forced out of bed or something happened? You get, but if you could actually live a life that is full of peace, and you know, you're calm, you're moving at a normal human pace, you know, I think that is much more pleasing to me than really being like this. So how do you regain control of your life? Because when you're in haste, when you're living a hasty life, a hurry life, hurry, that means your life is out of your control. You don't control your life. So how do you regain back control? Like, you know what, I control myself. I know when to wake up. I know when to do this. Like, my time is laid out. I have a life track. Like, you're tracking your life. You're tracking your schedule. You're tracking your time. You get. So how do you regain control? Well, one thing I have to say, a person who is in hurry, let's just I'm giving you an example before we dive in. A person who is in a hurry, who is not in a hurry, will actually have time to move and look around and, you know, see what's really going on. And such a person can easily stop and stand and help a person in distress, and help a person in confusion, and help a person that really needs help. Such a person can be a good Samaritan, because they are not in a hurry. Despite the fact that they have something to catch, they'll still stand, and because they have control, they'll stand and help and render a helping hand. But you who is in a hurry, surprisingly, despite the fact that you have a good heart, you're a good Samaritan, you're kind, you have a lot of things with you, like you're a good person, and surprisingly or ironically, you'll be actually heading out somewhere to hold a speak to some people about the parable of a good Samaritan. Surprisingly, because you're in a hurry, you'll end up passing someone who needs help, and you're going straight to talk to people about the parable of a good Samaritan. You see that? You're going to talk about a good Samaritan, but you've not acted like one. You get that? You've not acted like one. Well, thinking about the good Samaritan, that did not increase the helping behavior, but being in a hurry decreased it. So when you're in a hurry, you kind of decrease what you would have done. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Let me read it out. Thinking about the good Samaritan, you did not, the hurry did not increase the helping heart, the helping action or what that you have. It instead decreased it. So the hurry took over. Hurry decreased the kindness in you. It kind of blinded you about what was really happening around you. So you missed that. If it's a blessing, you have missed it. Why? Because you're in a hurry. Instead of being a good Samaritan first, then heading out, heading to wherever you were headed to, you just passed by. So the hurry decreased the helping behavior in you. It decreased it. And for it, it increased itself. So it took over you. It controlled you. And if someone asks you, like, how could you pass that? How could you not render a helping hand? You're like, I didn't see that. I didn't see it. That's the excuse you will give. But if you only moved at a normal pace and had your life in control, had your time in control, then you would have seen that which was around you. You would have noticed who needed help at that particular time. You get? So what am I specifically talking about? I'm talking about how to reduce hurry and live your life to the fullest. How do you reduce hurry? Because when you are in a hurry, you miss out on a lot of things. You miss out on a lot of things. A lot of things. But if you could only reduce the hurry, you will notice every simple thing around you. You will like, it's kind of like you track your life. You're in check. Your calendar is organized. You know that today is this day. Today, you have track of everything that happens around you. But if you don't, if you don't have your life in control, if you don't have your life in check, then you're going to miss out on the important dates of your life. You're going to miss out on the simple things that are surrounding you. So how do you start? One way to do that is by creating margin. Creating margin in your schedule. When you buy a book, these books that we used to use back in the day, 32, 46-page books, those books, they always had a margin where we put number 1, number 2, number 3, or use letters A, B, C, D. Those margins, they were actually meant to keep the book organized, not squeezed up in and all that. That's why people who used to write in those margins in school were punished. Like, you don't have to finish the line, then you come into the margin and then start writing again. There was that line about, if you're writing, you start from here, the margin is left out for maybe numbers and all that. You get? So you don't come in the margin and squeeze work there. If I remember, people who used to do it were punished. You get? So try to create margin in your schedule. You get? If you have something to do and it's going to take around 15 minutes, why don't you give yourself 30 minutes? Add an extra 15 minutes. You get? Add an extra 15 and have 30 minutes to yourself. With those 30 minutes, you'll have enough time to do what you have to do at a normal pace and finish it out perfectly well. Perfectly well. Okay, look at if you're pouring out soda, that Coke soda into a bottle. Remember, it has a lot of gas. So if you pour it in, like you're in a hurry and you pour it out in the glass, and you don't leave that space for the bubbles to burst out, or for the gas to come up and then cool down, it's going to pour out. The moment you fill it up to the brim, it will pour out. But if you could only leave that space. Well, according to research, your daily schedule needs to be filled, not up to it. Your schedule needs to be filled at no more than 80% capacity. But most of us will go up to 100 and even exceed the 100. So you don't have to exceed 80. You have to leave at 20%. Let the 80 be fixed up. But can you leave the 20% capacity for you to think, for you to do other things, for you to, to try and live life? Move out a little bit. But most of the time, our schedule is so packed up that we barely have time to think about our own self. We barely have time to even have a decent meal. We barely have time to have enough sleep. We barely have time to, spend some quality time with family and friends. We are all about work, this, that. I need to do this. I need to go here. You barely have time. But if you could just, try to reduce on the hurry in your life, trust me, it will be so helpful. It will be so helpful. So helpful. What else can you do? Say no. Saying no quite often is not a bad thing. It is not being rude. It is not being, a heartless person. It's actually looking out for yourself. Most of us are kind of like people pleasers. You want to please this person. You want to, show them that, anytime you need me, I got you. I'm available. I can, you need someone to organize your desk, I'm here. You need someone to run your errands, I'm here. So everyone who brings, they have an errand boy or an errand girl. You get, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter, they'll just, actually that brings about bakuita kunyoma, bakuisamba maso, kind of like that. So if you could only say no. There are people in organizations, you're known that if I need this done, I'm going to go to Juliet. If I want this work printed out, if I want these documents laid out, Juliet. If I want lunch, I think I should send Juliet. But remember, Juliet has also work to do. So Juliet will end up fulfilling all these other people's needs or wants. And by the time I come to attend to my own work, I'm worn out, I'm tired. But because my boss needs the work by the next day or next morning before the start of the meeting, there's a presentation, I'll end up fixing, doing a lot of work in little time, trying to hurry. I'll hurry and hurry and hurry and hurry and hurry. You get? I'll hurry and hurry. And if I do that, I'm going to burst out. That's why you find people they're so fatigued. They're like, they're even frustrated at work. They're not happy with their jobs, yet it's their fault. So can you try to say no for once so that you can, use your time how you have planned it? Let other people do their work. If someone wants you to do something and you know what, my time is fixed. I'm up to capacity. I'm 80% already. I can't top up. Say no. Learn to say no. Say, you know what? It won't be possible. I think I'm full. I'm packed up. I have things to attend to. You get? Learn to say no more often. It won't hurt. And whoever doesn't understand that, then there is kind of ladies still under saying no quite often. You just don't want to miss out on anything. Maybe you have kids. They have a dance. Actually, because you're in a hurry, you tend to be... You want to be involved in the cooking class. You want to be in the dancing class. You want to be in the yoga class. You want to be can you try to know who you are? Know, what do you really want to do? Why are you everywhere? That is losing track of your own self. Morning to evening, you don't have time to just sit down and think. You're either in yoga, you're either swimming, and actually when you even have kids, you tend to take them through that kind of, that's the same schedule you're putting them through. When they are at school, they're in the arts class, they're in the science class, is it club or whatever it's called, they do football, they're in every class. You just don't want your kids to miss out on anything because you're also not missing out on anything, and you consider that healthy. It is not. you're actually destroying your own self. Because who busy in, like, you just can't. You choose. So say no to some things. Say no to those things that you think, I think I should have this. You don't need to have everything. Choose what really works for you, because trust me, you can't be in the cooking class, you're in the swimming class, your kids are in the science club, so you do a football club. What really? So try to say no. You know what? Let me do yoga. Let me be in the yoga class. That will work for me. It will give me peace of mind. Oh, you know what? Let me go for the cooking class. But you can't be in all places. You just can't. You get? So try to say no to some people and some things. Do what you can. What you don't need at a particular time, let it go. Let it go and concentrate on something that really, that gives you peace of mind. What else? Relax your self-demands. Relax your self-demands. You get? Relax your self-demands. What am I talking about? Most of the time people want to prove, like, you know what, you just want to prove yourself, because, like, you know what, I can do it. I can do this. I can buy this. I can achieve this. I can attain this. So you feel like I'm not worthy. In yourself, people actually not even minding about whatever is going around your life. But for you, you're looking into yourself and you think you're so unworthy. Like, I'm not worthy. I'm not feeling myself. So you put demands on yourself. I have to buy land. I have to buy this. I have to make my room like this. You know how girls be. My friends have to come when my room is lit. Like, it's perfect. I have that flat screen there. I have a fridge. I have this, my bed and all that stuff. It's all clean. So you put demands on yourself. Yet people are not even looking at whatever. They're not looking at that. People are minding their business. People are living their life. But for you, you're putting a lot of pressure. You're in haste to attain. You're in haste to achieve. You're like, really? And the moment you find yourself not worthy to yourself, trust me, what do you expect us to think? What do you expect us to think? One thing you should do, believe God has created you and me with gifts and a purpose. If you believe that, then you're good. No one is purposeless. All you have to do is, let me say it the way I want to say it. Kwezula. You have to find yourself. Kwezula, no manya, no tegera. Because there's where in the Bible, is it in Hebrews? I don't know. Hebrews, I'm not so good at quoting by books in the Bible. It talks about there are things we do because we are ignorant, like we don't know, because we lack wisdom. We perish because of lack of wisdom. Yeah, that's the thing. We perish because of lack of wisdom. So if we could, God says, if you need wisdom, ask and I will give it to you. And He will. So believe that He has created you and me with gifts and purpose. Everyone has something they know how to do. Everyone has something they do. Like, it's your purpose. All you have to do kwezula. No mind manikati. Ndi wachi neno. And you concentrate on that. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Still on that, look into Psalms, that is 139. 16. It says, all the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to pass. So if you put a lot of self-demand on yourself, it's like you're riding your own life. Yet you can't, because you don't have your life in your hands. It's only God. You get? So to take a pressure, you want pressure to get married, pressure like self-demand. Your friend maybe got married at 26 and for you like, when I'm 28, I'm soon clocking 30, I don't have a man. Then you're in haste. Papa or Duma, let me say that, or Duma. And then you end up crashing, you end up meeting time wasters, you end up hitting rock bottoms, regretting mistakes. But if you could singa wehumuzeemu gundi, singa wehumuza ne wewe mirembe, trust me, there are things that are just not in your control. Before COVID, I was planning, there's something I wanted to buy in my house. Now because I have a fixed account, so when I put their money, I don't get it like ziwazigenze. I get it upon the time I signed. Until, you know what, I think after this period of time I'll get that money, so I can't get it unless that time cometh forth, or I should really have a good excuse to give the bankers in order to get that money out, because I'm keeping it for something else. So I'm like, you know what, the money that goes there doesn't come out, so what do I do? So I was planning like the salary for this month, the salary for next month. Survival. I can actually, I think, buy this thing. So I was actually excited. I'm like, you know, I'm going to get the money. Then she got it. That was my plan. Surprisingly, I think about this even before they announced that the president is going to talk on Friday 18. Was it on the 18th of June? And Banangi, they have looked at, am I doing what I wanted to do now? Right now, I'm thinking of something else. I'm actually not even thinking about that. I'm planning, actually, if I get the money, I'm saving it much more, because you know what? I don't know what tomorrow holds. What if they add in lockdown? So you see, most of the things we plan and we want to do this, we want to do that. But come on. God ordained our days. He knows what's going to happen tomorrow or the next minute. Because I don't know. Am I going to wake up or not? I don't have a clue. When I go to sleep, I don't know. But one thing for sure that I know, or that which I hold on, is that when I wake, He's always there watching over me when I sleep and when I wake up. You get? So, all the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. So relax. I don't have to make a name for myself. God already has a plan for me based on how He made me. That's one thing I know for sure. Because every time I start running faster, it feels like it will be the end of the world. So when you run, you're in a hurry. You're always panting. Like, can you just catch a breath? Can you try to breathe in and out? And relax yourself. Most of the things are not in your power. Actually, most of the people, mwiteka kubwangu, nengolusu nebintu tebiri mu manyi gammwe, tebiri mu mikono jammwe. Most of the things are already out of your control. But you feel like, no, it can't be. You want to go and hold it back again, yet it's already gone. You know. So let's try to really calm down. What else? Obey the speed limits. Obey the speed limits. Most of the time, people tend, especially those people who drive cars, avuga papa moto kewako ka speed limit, like this is the maximum speed, but we actually exceed. Tuyitawo luachi. We are driving so fast to go into that meeting. We are driving so fast, you know, to reach there. We have appointments. We have tasks to meet. We have this. Really. Reduce the speed limit. I mean, like, obey it. Obey the speed limit. You want to pay and get the land. All you want is to sign on those papers. But by the end of the day, you get to find out that mukupapa kuba mu bwangu badoyolesa bakufeze etakale bakuguziza baguziza mpewo, like they say. You get? But if you could only obey the speed limit. When you obey the speed limit, that means you're going to follow the traffic light rules. You're going to follow the zebra crossing rules. You won't just woo. Ukakanengo ujize bwoti oyagala kutomera muntu obango otomedde n'omuntu or whatever. You get? When you obey the speed limit, you're going to be able to follow every traffic rule because you're not in haste, you're not in a hurry, you're not running anywhere, despite the fact that you have where to go. You get? That's why when ambulances or are taking someone to the hospital, or when they're picking up someone, they have the siren. It keeps, you know, it keeps running. Why? Because it's requesting for space. Can I pass? I'm rushing somewhere. And they always give them space. But you remember, you don't have the siren, but you're actually running so fast. You're going to knock, you're going to scratch someone's car. And by the time you scratch someone's car, trust me, bagenda kufuna, and you'll end up paying money. It will be a chaos. You'll end up in prison or something. So try to obey the speed limits. Prioritize tasks at the beginning of the day. How do I even say it in Luganda? Prioritize tasks at the end of the day. We have a tendency And I also used to do it, by the way, especially when you're working and you have a lot of internet. Oh my God, internet is something else. And you have a lot of internet with you. You tend, when you reach to work and you turn on your computer, the first thing you do is you check your WhatsApp messages, you check your emails, your, the Twitters and whatever, the Instagrams and all that. So instead of you trying so hard to do what you're supposed to do at that specific time, your messages and your email. These are not priorities. Like you can do them during your lunch break or your coffee break or whatever, but you tend to do them early in the moment. That, like, immediately you reach, that's the first thing you do. Now that is really wrong, because zijageno tuka sawa mukaga ngabamne bamaze ba what you did in the morning is what they are doing in their lunch break at around 1. That's the time you're trying to finish. Remember, at the same time, you also want to go out with them and have lunch. No papa. But if you came into office and did what you had to do, maybe you would have enough time to go for lunch and come back and actually even check your mails and everything. You get. One thing I've realized is that when you wake up early and freshen up and you start working, cut right now for me, I wake up early, I shower, like I organize myself. By 7, at exactly 7, I'm seated working. Zigenwera sawa mukaga. Juke akasana kawa kavude obulungi konanga kejize. I'm done with like 3/4 of my work. And they're just patches to fill in. And that's something easy you can do. You get. So, and I've really liked the routine. I take a tinchimanye because it's really so helpful. It helps. You get, when noise starts coming in, at least I've done with the concentrative part. So I attend to the priority, then later I go to the less, priorities. Well, look into your schedule and see, are you in a hurry or you're living a life that is, has a normal pace? Me, I've learned to balance my things. Every day I have a target, and I'm like, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. It's not programmed for that day. You get. So because by that I have enough time to rest, I have enough time to think, I have enough time to create, because my job needs creativity. You get. And by the end of the day, my boss needs results. You get. Not hurry. No. She needs results. Well, that is all I had to share today. Thank you for watching RestTV. Thank you for watching Straight Up with me. Stick to RestTV because we have a number of programs lined up for you, which includes, we have the lunch hour service today. We have our news updates at exactly 3 p.m. by Jackie Dingla. We have Katika Live by MC Hope. We have Hagaliwo Kusawemo, that is with Charles Sempija. And we have Never Give Up with Pastor Roland Mwesigo at exactly at exactly 8 p.m. Yes. Well, Juliet Nasuga is my name. Let's meet tomorrow at exactly 10:30. Yes, 10:30 to 11 a.m. Be blessed.